Today's reading is from Isaiah 44, verses 9 to 20. It's on page 731 in the Bibles. All who make idols are nothing, and the things they treasure are worthless. Those who would speak up for them are blind. They are ignorant to their own shame. Who shapes a god and casts an idol which can profit nothing? People who do that will be put to shame. Such craftsmen are only human beings. Let them all come together and take their stand. They will be brought down to terror and shame. The blacksmith takes a tool and works it in the coals. He shapes an idol with the hammers. He forges it with the might of his arm. He gets hungry and loses his strength. He drinks no water and grows faint. The carpenter measures with a line and makes an outline with a marker. He roughs it out with chisels and marks it with compasses. He shapes it in a human form in all its glory, that it may dwell in a shrine. He cut down the cedars, or perhaps took a cypress or oak. He let it grow among the trees of the forest, or planted a pine, and the rain made it grow. It is used as a fuel for burning. Some of it he takes and warms himself. He kindles a fire and bakes bread. But he also fashions a god and worships it. He makes an idol and bows down to it. Half of the wood he burns in the fire. Over it he prepares his meal. He roasts his meat and eats his fill. He warms himself and says, "Ah, I am warm, I see the fire." From the rest he makes a god, his idol. He bows down to it and worships. He prays to it and says, "Save me, you are my God." They know nothing. They understand nothing. Their eyes are plastered over so that they cannot see, and their minds are closed. They cannot understand. No one stops to think. No one has the knowledge or understanding to say, "Half of it I used for fuel. I even baked bread over its coals. I roasted meat, and I ate. Shall I make a detestable thing from what is left? Shall I bow down to a block of wood?" Such a person feeds on ashes. A deluded heart misleads him. He cannot save himself or say, "Is not this thing in my right hand a lie?"
Thank you, Nadine. Just want to add my welcome to Susie's. It's great to have you with us. It's just lovely seeing old friends joining us, newcomers with us. Thank you for sticking around. And the thing to do now is keep this passage open, because we're going to think a bit more about it. And the question I wanted to ask is a bit of a silly question, but if you're younger here, have you ever eaten jelly with a knife and fork before? Have you tried doing that? No, yeah, someone has. That's a very silly thing to do. Have you ever gone to school with your coat on back to front all day? That would be... You have... You put your coat... That's so silly, isn't it? You did that. Your coat on back to front in the playground. Has anyone tried to go to sleep standing on their head before? Yes, I thought, Theo, you might have tried that perhaps. You have. Did it work? Did it work? You did work. You fell asleep. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's very impressive. Those are some very, very silly things to do. In our Bible reading today, I wonder if you noticed there was someone doing something very, very silly. Only the really funny thing is he didn't realize how silly he was being. He really didn't. Oh, look, actually, I think we've got the man from our reading here today. He's made an appearance.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. What have you got there, Dan? What have you got there?
It's a piece of wood, Jim. It was once part of a tree, and it's been hanging out in my garden. So.
Right. You, no doubt you kind of grew that tree, watched it, watered it, watched it grow, and now it's a bit of just a block of wood there. It looks a bit rough, not very nice.
Well, you think that, Jim, but just see what I can make out of it. You'll be impressed. Just
okay.
have a look.
Hey, look. Oh,
Whoa.
hey, what do we got here? Wow, here we go.
All right, let's
Move this out of the way.
put that in.
Move it out of the way.
Okay. I'm going to cut it in half first. I'm going to cut it in half. This could be loud. Might have cover your ears. Whoa. Well, that's good. Right. Got my 2 bits of wood. One's very nice. The other's a complete shambles, as you can see. This is the lovely bit. It's very nice. No. This is the very nice bit. There we go. That's the nice bit. Right. I'm going to make it into something. It's got to look like a person, a human image, so... Yeah, that's good. Nice little face. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Whew. Tiring work though, this, making stuff. And covering it in metal, that's very good. Some precious metal, some gold perhaps, or silver. I don't have that. Got something almost as good. And maybe it's better. San Pellegrino. Yeah, that's it. That's lovely, isn't it? Now this is beautiful. Very nice, I think you'll agree. And this bit's, again, it's rubbish. It's worthless. Nothing better to do than throw it into the fire. You know, when I get home, I'll put it in my log burner. Keep me nice and warm. Might even cook my sausages over it. That'd be good. But this half, this is beautiful. This is lovely. I'll hold this up. I'll worship this. This is my God. Yeah.
Yes. Dan, I think you're being a bit silly here. I mean, it's you're saying that is your God, are you?
Yeah, well, I know it used to just be a piece of wood.
Yeah.
But now I've made it into a God. Look, it's even got a face.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
nice, huh?
Okay.
This little guy, he's going to save me.
Oh.
He's going to protect me. He's going to provide for me.
Okay, quick warning, children. I think Dan is going to do something as a Christian he'd never do for real, but he's just pretending. Hey, remember, he's just pretending. What's he going to do?
You are my God, save me.
Oh my goodness.
You are my God, save me. You are my God, save me.
Okay.
When I'm lonely, be there for me. When I'm needy, provide for me. When I'm weak, strengthen me.
Okay, Dan. I think we get the idea. I wonder whether you need to stay around and listen to what Isaiah has to teach us. Okay? You're just you'll leave this.
I'll just leave
block.
that there. Yeah.
Okay.
Look after him for me.
Okay,
Very precious.
Okay, Dan.
Okay.
Yes, we'll look after him for you. Yes. Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay. Wow. Wasn't Dan silly? Isn't he silly? You know, he is working really hard and to create this. Well, what is it? It's nothing, is it? It's just a. That's all it is. It's just a piece of wood with a smiley face. Oh my goodness. Well, it's obviously it's not a god, is it? It's not something you should bow down to. But it's strange, isn't it? Because it didn't seem like Dan. And do you see in verse 19? He didn't stop to think. He's not going, He doesn't say to himself in verse 19, half of it I'm going to use when I get home and put in my log burning stove and cook over some sausage, cook some sausages and something. And then the other half, I'm going to bow down to it and make. He doesn't think, actually, that doesn't make any sense. Now I wonder why that is. Well, look what Isaiah says. Very sadly, he's saying it's as though Dan's eyes are plastered over. It's as though he can't see. He's kind of forgotten to put his contact lenses in. He doesn't realize just what he's doing. Silly old Dan. What is obvious to us, this is obvious is not a God, it's not obvious to him. Well, it's a good thing that sort of kind of behavior doesn't happen anymore today, does it? That's just what happened in the old days. You know, that in Isaiah's day, not in 21st century Britain. Oh, actually, hang on. Here's 21st century Dan. Welcome back. Good to have you. You're looking very smart there, Dan.
Thank you.
Very
Yes,
smart.
try my
You've got
best.
your tie on.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, what's that hanging around your neck?
Oh, this is my work security pass.
Okay.
Everyone at my very important engineering firm has one of these.
Right.
And you know, I worked and I studied very hard to get this job.
Yes.
I've got a PhD in everything.
Oh my goodness.
And now,
Wow.
I am a mechanical and nuclear safety engineer, Mark II. Yeah. And this job is great. With the money I get, I can afford to heat my home to keep me warm, buy my food, even pay my mortgage. Yeah, it's good. It's not just a job, Jim. This is my God.
It's your God. It's your God. Goodness. So what does that sort of mean that you kind of do,
Well,
and you think about your job?
I mean,
then?
it doesn't just pay the bills.
Yeah.
It's my career. I give my life to this thing. I get to walk around every day with my head held high and know that I am a mechanical and nuclear safety engineer, Mark II.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, it makes me feel really good about myself.
Does it?
Yeah.
And what do you sometimes do when
Well,
kind of... Yeah.
I'm tempted to bow down on my heart and worship it.
Oh.
You are my God, oh engineering career.
Oh.
Provide for me everything I need.
Okay.
Give me a sense of purpose, self-worth. Save me.
Okay, Dan, again, I think we're getting the idea.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so...
Okay, but I've actually got another God,
You've got
Jim.
another God. You've got another God.
Yeah.
So you've got a number of
Number
gods
of different
here.
gods, yeah.
Okay. Who's your other God?
Her name is Rachel. Yeah.
Rachel.
Rachel's my best friend.
Wow. Okay. Well. Okay. I guess friends are good things, aren't they? You know, friends, good friends. You know, we have friends at school, in the playground. I guess friends we play netball with. Friends we kind of get to spend time with. Friends are brilliant, Dan. Friends are brilliant. Friends are good things.
Yeah, but not just good things, Jim. They're essential. Oh. Everybody needs a friend to bow down and worship and say, Rachel, you are my God. Save me. Save me from my loneliness. Be everything I need. Give me everything I want. Never disagree with me. And always tell me what I want to hear. Oh, save me.
I think, should we ask Rachel to have a seat? I think we're getting the idea.
Oh.
Poor Rachel, goodness. As you mould her in your image, goodness. Oh,
yes.
Dear.
But you know what, Jim? I've got another
You've got
God.
another God,
yes.
Okay. Well, I guess, well, none of us are surprised. Tell us about this other God.
My online image. Oh, yes.
Your
my online image.
Your persona.
My Snapchat profile.
Oh
my
goodness.
Instagram story. It's just so important what I look like. I've got to wear the best clothes. Yeah. I need everybody to know all the cool stuff I got up to at the weekend. All the cool places I visited on holiday. Yeah. The great sports teams that I'm part of. It's just so important that it looks like I've got the perfect life.
But Dan, that is not true. I mean, you have a good life, but it's not perfect. You face hard things. I know things aren't always easy. You struggle. You don't always look the best. You know, and you're not actually always super happy. You're not. You really aren't.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, Jim. It doesn't have to be real online. You can be anyone you want to be. You make an image of yourself. And if you make that image good enough, if you have enough followers, then you don't have to worry. You can be happy.
Oh, no.
Oh, online image. You are my God. Save me. Oh, Snapchat profile. Oh, make me feel popular and wanted. Make me feel loved and accepted. Give me reassurance every time I reach out for my phone.
Oh, Dan.
Oh,
Dan. I really think you need to stick around because a God you create, you make, cannot be the real God. We don't make God. No, we don't make him. He makes us. That's just the point. He's bigger than us. He's better than us. He's beyond us. He creates us. I don't know what Dan's doing there. This is a bit strange. Dan, I don't know what you're doing, my friend.
I don't see it, Jim. I just don't see what
you're talking
about.
You don't see it?
No,
well, look, let me explain this then to you. Let me explain what I'm trying to say to you. I wonder if you want to hear what I have to say.
I don't hear you. I don't want to hear.
Dan,
I don't see. No, don't hear. No, don't hear. Don't hear.
Oh,
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Goodness.
Bye-bye.
Wow. What it must be like to be married to him. Goodness. Oh, my goodness. Guys, this is bad, isn't it? This is bad. Dan doesn't see what we're talking about. He doesn't want to hear what Isaiah has to say. We know that this bit of wood and all those idols are like smelly nappies. What does Isaiah say? They're detestable, verse 19. It's like, put it in the bin. Get rid of it. Ah. Yes. Oh. Chuck it in. No, don't chuck it. Nice. Okay. Oh, my goodness. So, it does seem, doesn't it, that what they were doing in Isaiah's day, people do in our day too, don't they? They do. It's a bit like anyone in our world can be a silly person. We can live as though the things in this world are gods, and that's when we kind of expect people, to be it's where we expect the things that we do and the homes that we live in and the friends we have and the money we might have in our bank account and the image we project maybe in person here or online or anything like that is what makes us okay in life. And even though that is a really silly thing to do, to say that's what's going to keep us safe, lots and lots and lots of people do it. Children, you're growing up in a world where people worship false gods all around them. And even we do it too, sadly, sometimes. It's why we need Jesus so, so much, because Jesus is the one person who can help us all see how silly we are to bow down to anyone but God. You think in the Gospels how many times he opens people's eyes. It's a way of saying he helps us see. He's the one who takes the ear defenders off, who lifts up the blindfold. It's why our message as a church is this song we're now going to sing. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Why? Why should we look to him and his wonderful face? Because as we do, look down at what the words say. The things of this earth, that is the pretend gods we trust in, grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. When we see Jesus for who he is, everything else seems totally rubbish by comparison. Should we stand when the music gets underway and sing this song together? One day every knee will bow and every tongue will shout, all glory to Jesus alone. Everyone will be bowing down to Jesus. That's where the world is headed. Now here's a question. Why did Isaiah write this passage that we had read for us by Nadine? Why did he do it? Did he just want to poke fun at people like Dan? Is that what he wanted to do? No. He wanted to do something much more important. He wanted to encourage all of us to keep trusting in the Lord and to worship him alone. You see, Isaiah is looking forward to a time in history, or he's looking ahead to a time in history when the people of God, those who are Israel, the Jewish nation, are held as prisoners of war. And they're held against their will many, many miles away from home in a place called Babylon. And worst of all, they knew that they should be there. They deserved to be there because God had warned them. He said, if you sin against me, I will come and send a foreign nation to destroy you and to take you away and take you as prisoners to a foreign land. And so there they were, sitting in a foreign land as prisoners, and they're probably wondering whether God even exists at all. Has he forgotten them, or does he even exist? I wonder actually, could we have 3 Israelites, 3 people who could come, and 3 children who'd like to volunteer to be prisoners in Babylon? It looks like I've got Lottie. Right, Lottie. Johnsy. Come and look aggressive and mean and stand over these guys. Now you want to look, I need you to no smiling. You've got to look very, very sad, very, very sad. Because we're prisoners. We're prisoners Right. Okay. Shall we hear what Isaiah has to say next? Nadine, come on up. Let's hear what Isaiah says next and why it might be helpful.
Isaiah 44, 21 to 23. Remember these things, Jacob, for you, Israel, are my servant. I have made you. You are my servant, Israel. I will not forget you. I have swept away all your offenses like a cloud, your sins like the morning mist. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. Sing for joy, you heavens, for the Lord has done this. Shout aloud, you earth beneath. Burst into song, you mountains, you forests, and all you trees. For the Lord has redeemed Jacob. He displays his glory in Israel.
Thank you, Nadine. Thank you for reading that so wonderfully. Okay, a quick moment just to look down, okay, if you're here with your mummy or daddy or the person who brought you, just sit with them and maybe they can say, look, can you hear anything encouraging that Isaiah says to a people who are a long way from home, who know they've sinned, who are wondering whether God has forgotten them, whether he's even real. So just a moment just to look down at those words again we had read. And if you're a little one, to chat with a parent or someone who brought you. Let's have a look. We're gonna just do that for just a few seconds. Good stuff. Okay, good. Lots of looking down going on. Well done, guys. Good stuff. Okay. Okay. Does anyone spot anything that's encouraging? Anyone, particularly in junior church, who's a bit younger, want to put up their hand and I'll bring the mic over to you? Or Pathfinders. Yeah, Pathfinders or a youth small group. You can contribute as well. So looking round. This may not work today. This may not work. I don't know if this is going to work. Fine. This is going to work. I'm going to just talk about it. Look down. Okay. God says. There was a hand, was there? It's exciting.
I will not forget you.
He says, I will not forget you, doesn't he? I will not forget you, even though it looks like it. So thank you, Emma, for saying that. So good. Great. Well done. Did anyone else spot anything that's encouraging? Yes, go on. Okay.
I have redeemed you.
I have redeemed you. I have redeemed you. What a wonderful phrase. Do you remember the idea about being redeemed? It means being bought back. So we had the person who made this beautiful little cushion. We said this last week, didn't we? A friend of mine, she made this beautiful cushion. She made it, and then she lost it. We pretended she'd lost it, and then she saw it at Oxfam for £5 for sale, and she bought it back. She said, I'm going to have this back for myself. I'm going to pay. So something she had made, she then redeemed. And that's what we see here in this section, don't we? Where we're told that God is the maker. He made them. Do you see that verse 21? And then he redeems them. He buys them back. He saves them. In fact, look what he does to their sins. There are people who know they've sinned. We have sinned. Oh, well, the Lord says, don't worry, your sin is going to be like a cloud that blows away, or the mist on a morning mist, which just goes as the sun comes up. It's just going to, the Lord has taken away your sins. So there's nothing to be gloomy about anymore. And so the big message is, return to me. Do you see that verse 22? Return to me. Don't worry about returning home, about going back to Jerusalem, so much as return to me. Get right with me. Remain loyal to me when everyone around you is not. In fact, if you coloured in that picture on your clipboard, if you're a younger person here, and you wanted to wave it at us now, you could do that. Or if you created your own picture, or you've half created it, and you could wave it at us, it would be quite helpful if you did. Yeah, thank you, Jacob. Others like Jacob, follow Jacob's suit. Follow suit with Jacob, because we're here, and we're a bit scared. You see, look how strong Jacob looks, how mighty. And he's got his foreign god that he's waving around. We're thinking, oh, should we? Oh, and there's one over there. There's another foreign god. There's another foreign god there. Oh, we're thinking, should we follow these gods? Should we bow down to these gods that people have made? Shall we? No, we're not going to. No, because, yes, I know we want, it looks like we should, but we won't. We won't, no, because we've heard God hasn't forgotten us. He really hasn't. So, in fact, if you've coloured something in and you've drawn something and you're up for playing part of the game, why don't you screw it in a ball if you want? You don't have to, but and chuck it here so it can go in the bin. They need to go in the bin. They look powerful, these foreign gods, but they need to go in the bin. Anyone want to do that? Jacob, you can do that. Yeah, go on, mate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great stuff. Typical. Great. Okay. All those gods are fakes. We only have one true God. We're gonna sing about this now. We're going to sing about this. So the musician's going to come on up, and that we're going to sing about where we have the tendency to drift away from the true God. And God's saying, come back to me and worship me. Should we stand? And you guys can go and sit down now. Thank you for helping.